Hi, it's me. I'm back, your favorite person, and I'm here with another Cheez-It review. I know it's been a while since the last one, over a year, which is a long time. But through a year, I have learned what differentiates the good Cheez-It from the bad Cheez-It. My experience has grown so magnanimous that I don't think I need to even review any more Cheez-Its again. There's a greater field to explore, a world of possibilities that has yet to even be touched on this channel. And those are those snacks which try to be Cheez-Its, and whether they succeed or not remains to be seen. But that is what we will be looking at today. Is there a snack out there that is better than the Cheez-It? We're gonna find out. So, I've got with me a selection of choice snacks that I researched that should supposedly be better than the Cheez-It. But we'll have to see. We'll start off with one with a lot of potential. This is one which many of you may know. It's one which is available in many places, I think. And this is the Cheez Nib. Can you see that? I don't know if the camera picks that up. This thing's from 2008, so you know what was working properly in 2008. Well, it's working properly, I guess, but it's, you know, anyway. So this is the Cheez Nib. It looks a lot like a Cheez-It, as you can see, lacking a bit of that salt texture that the Cheez-It is well known for. But I don't know, I think it looks good. I think it could taste good, so we'll just have to try it and see. Okay. Can you see that? Honestly, it looks almost exactly the same as a Cheez-It. The only difference I see is that it's a little bit paler, a little thinner, and kind of drier, not as oiled. I don't think that's the right word to describe it. When you look at a Cheez-It, it's like you're looking at a new car, you know, that sort of sheen. Hmm. Okay. So that's a promising flavor. That is surprisingly good. You know, for something that wants to be a Cheez-It, they got decently close. You know how I said it looks like a Cheez-It but a little drier? It turns out that that's almost exactly what the taste is as well. It's like a drier Cheez-It, like they got the essence of the cheese, but maybe they forgot the zit, that little spark that really makes the Cheez-It stand out. It's not quite there, which is, you know, it's unfortunate to say that, but considering how difficult it is to replicate a formula, they did a pretty good job. Here, I want another. I want some more. As snack crackers go, this is very good. This tastes good. But with that said, it doesn't have the pizzazz, you know, it doesn't have the secret ingredient that makes the Cheez-It so unique among snacks. So I have to say, would I choose this over Cheez-It? I would not. It's good, it's really great, but it's not better than the Cheez-It. So we'll say 6.5 out of 10 for this one, which is a good start. That's a great start. So next up, we have one which is a little bit less well known. So for those of you who are not from Canada, you would have no idea what this is, but this is a Superstore exclusive, the PC President's Choice Loads of Cheddar Cheese snack cracker. I've never had this before. I've never even seen this before. I was going in the grocery store looking for things that were like Cheez-Its but not Cheez-Its, and I just noticed that this was sitting here. And if you look very closely at it, you'll see that it's not the Cheez-It appearance. It's a lot more like the squiggly Cheez-It that I reviewed last year. but I think it could still have the potential to overthrow the Cheez-It throne. So let's try it. Good crinkle. Can you see that? That is a decent looking cracker. That's pretty good. Similarly to the cheese nip, it's a little paler than the Cheez-It, or at least what I remember Cheez-It looking at. It's been a bit. This looks different, but it does still look good. It's got a little fine powder on it, which gives it a bit of texture. I will say, you know my history with Cheez-Its. You know I don't really like powder on my Cheez-Its. I like a very even, smooth Cheez-It texture, maybe a little bit of that slickness, like I said, like the new car. This is not that, but it still looks good. It still looks pretty tasty, so I think it's worth a shot. Interesting. Okay, so that tastes very unique. That's not what I was expecting. It tastes like cheese. It's got a bit of some sort of zest to it almost. Maybe it's the powder, but it doesn't taste like this. It doesn't taste like that more classic cheesy flavor. It's something different, something like more distinct, I guess. It's almost like you took the zit from the Cheez-It and you removed a lot of the cheese, so you had more of that zit, but you were missing the cheese. I think the zest comes from the powder that's on top of it. It's very much. I think that's the case. With that mouthful, I tasted a lot more of the actual base cracker without the zest, and just based on giving it a second taste, I don't like it as much. I'd say that this is actually a lot worse than this guy, and nowhere near a Cheez-It. I'd eat it, but I'd kind of eat anything, so that's not saying much. So I'm gonna say that this is probably a 4 or a 5. Honestly, it's a 4. It's a 4 out of 10. So that was definitely not better than a Cheez-It. Now this one's a little different. This is the Crisper, which you may have heard of. This guy is well known to me as the cracker that has never tasted very good to me, honestly. Every time I have it, it feels like it's made of styrofoam or something. I haven't had this specific flavor, by the way. I haven't had this flavor. But all the flavors I've had of these Crispers, it's just not that good. So I'm gonna try not to go into this biased or anything, but I have to say my expectations are not that high. Okay, this is slightly more orange than the other ones. Still not quite Cheez-It orange, but closer. And I think it's the powder. The powder is giving it a bit more of that orange. Because I think if I'm looking at this right, the base cracker just is not that orange, but the powder is helping. And it actually gives it a nice kind of varied texture, which makes it seem maybe it's, more natural, earthy. Anyway, yeah, let's give it a go. So that was exactly the texture I was expecting, which is to say something that's not quite your typical cracker. It's almost like, I think this might be made of potato or something. Um, yeah, it's potato flour. So that makes it a very different experience from the other ones. It's good. It's good, like it's tasty. But I noticed as I was eating it, very strong hit at the beginning, very strong hit of flavor. And after that, it just dropped off. It was almost gone. Mm. But that flavor of cheese, that flavor of flavor, is different again from either of these two. It's something unique. It doesn't taste like Cheez-It, but it still tastes very strongly like cheese. And honestly, like if I was looking for something cheese flavored, this would be exactly what I'd want. It's good, but something is still missing there for me, I think. I like it, but I would not choose this over Cheez-It only because it's so unique. If I was looking for a Cheez-It, this would not be satisfactory. That's what I'm trying to say. So, this one, it's hard to gauge. Honestly, I would give this probably a 7 out of 10, just because it's a good cracker, like great flavor. But again, if my goal is to look for a Cheez-It, something that's going to replace the Cheez-It, I wouldn't choose this. So this one, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I'll place it with the others as a very respectable competitor, but not quite what I'm looking for yet. This guy, pretty unique as well. This is the No Name Cheese Rice Cracker. Now, I've had a lot of rice crackers in my life, and I have to say, they've never been that good. You bite into them and you're like, okay, this is tasty, but then after you've had half a pack, you still feel hungry. I'm not exactly expecting this to replace the Cheez-It, but perhaps it could get close. I think it's still worth a shot because it's something different, and yet it could still hit those same cravings in its own way. It could be something like the Crisper. It could even be something that's closer in flavor, and that would make it a potential replacement for the Cheez-It. Because you got to think, why would you want to replace the Cheez-It? For some people, it's health reasons. For some people, it's politics. We're here in Canada, and well, Cheez-It is anyway. For some people, it's other reasons, and this could fulfill one of those reasons. So I think we should give it a shot. Rice cracker. So it looks like a rice cracker. So I don't know how many rice crackers you've had, but this is a pretty typical appearance for one. White, pretty bland, pretty circular, but with a bit of powder on the outside. So it looks pretty tasty, but it's also, you can tell it's rice. You can tell it's not going to be a typical cracker. So that does kind of affect the mindset. Like, I know this is not going to satisfy me. I know that going in, but we'll see. So that was a perfect illustration of my problem. It was just way too bland. I should have expected this. This is the number one problem with rice crackers. Every time you look at them and you're like, oh, this seems like it's going to be a little tasty, and then you take a bite and it's like styrofoam. I called this guy styrofoam. This one's not styrofoam. This one is styrofoam. It is the most substanceless, flavorless, still a little tasty, but just not hitting it at all. I would not recommend this snack. I'm not even gonna compare it to the Cheez-It because at this point I don't think that's fair. This guy is its own category of thing. It's not gonna fulfill that craving for Cheez-It, not even remotely. Honestly, not even remotely. I don't know what to say. I feel kind of angry, just a little bit, because I'm trying to do a comparison of Cheez-Its. I want to maintain a high standard. This is not a simple matter. We are talking about the greatest snack cracker, possibly that's ever existed. For me to suggest that something like this could replace the Cheez-It, it's not fair at all. It's not fair for you guys, and it's not fair for me. I just have to say, I want to apologize. I've done you wrong here. Don't even pick this up. Don't buy that. Don't think about it. Don't touch it. Don't look at it. There you go. So I've got one more competitor in this race. I've already introduced him. Here he is. The Breton Bite. Breton Bites. This guy, in all my research, was said to be the #1 Cheez-It dethroner. People were saying this guy is way better than Cheez-It. This guy is amazing. This guy is so good, it'll change your perspective on cheese crackers. So, I think if anyone could beat the Cheez-It, it would be this guy. But here's the thing. I know the power of the Cheez-It. I'm not about to give anybody who wants to try to dethrone our king an even fight. I've been trying all of these snack crackers. I've been saying, oh, they're kind of like the Cheez-It. Oh, they're pretty different. In all of these cases, I was tasting them without even having that memory of what a Cheez-It is in my mind. Like I said, it's been a while since I had a Cheez-It. So how can I try possibly the new king of cheese crackers without trying the old king? Before I try this guy, I am bringing back the one. That's right. He's here. He's with us. The Cheez-It. You can say this is unfair. You can say I'm not giving the Breton Bite a fair trial. But the thing is, nobody gets a fair fight against the Cheez-It. When you're fighting the champion, you don't ask him to stand in the other room while you warm up and punch some dummy and then, compare who got the best punches. No, you fight that competitor one-on-one in the arena, face-to-face. There he is. Actually, that was kind of bland. Hold on. There it is. You have to give it some time, but it arrives. That is the best cheese flavor that you can find. Honestly, I have to say, I don't even know how to describe it, but this is the perfect flavor for a cheese cracker. I'm gonna put this guy here, proudly where he belongs, while I test out the one that said he could dethrone this guy. Well, I have to say, very bright. I don't know if you can tell in this darkening light, but this is a very bright cracker. That's a good sign. Lots of potential. Doesn't really look like a Cheez-It. It does have the holes, but it's very round as well. It's also, I can tell it's gonna be a different texture. It's a bit softer, a bit more like a Ritz cracker. But I have to say, considering how snarky I've been, this guy does look pretty good. Is it better than a Cheez-It? Huh. I have to say, I did not have a lot of faith. That is a very good cracker. I think I have to say this is not better. It's not better. I'm sorry. I know I was leading you up. I know I was doing all this stuff. This is just not quite better than the Cheez-It. I thought maybe something would be different. And the truth is, this has to be the best snack cracker I've had outside of the Cheez-It. But there's one thing that's holding it back. The flavor was great. It tastes like cheese. It has a certain unique cheese flavor, which you can tell it's very synthetic. So is the Cheez-It, though, so are all of these. But it is good. It's a good flavor. And yet, they chose to go with a soft Ritz-like cracker. And that is not what the Cheez-It is. When I bite into a Cheez-It, I want that crunch. I want that textile experience that I know belongs to the Cheez-It. Some of these guys did it well. The cheese nib crunches like a Cheez-It. This guy too, it got pretty close in some ways. This guy is not that. It's just not, you know. I know we call it a cheese cracker and that leaves a lot of room for interpretation, but when you make a cheese cracker, everybody knows there's only one thing in your mind. There's only one thing that you're thinking about, and that is this guy. I love the flavor. It's a great flavor. I think the texture is fine for what it is, but this cannot replace the Cheez-It. As hard as it'll try, it will not replace the Cheez-It. It belongs here at the front. It's a respectable member of the cheese cracker family. But with all said and all done, the Cheez-It wins it all. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this. I know I've been reviewing Cheez-Its for pretty much 2 years now. It's a long time. It feels like I've really covered most grounds within this Cheez-It sphere. But I think this shows that there's a lot out there. You know, every one of these was a diverse flavor, and that shows that there is a lot of potential out there. People are trying things. People are experimenting. If you enjoy cheese crackers, but maybe the Cheez-It isn't quite your thing, maybe you'd like one of these. Maybe you'd like one of these experiences. It's not better than the Cheez-It in my opinion, but it's still a good cracker, and maybe that's what you want. So maybe you won't be able to get all of these in Canada, but they're good options. Lots of great stuff here. I'll say if I was going to choose one that's my favorite, it'll be this guy. I'd recommend this guy. This guy too is actually quite good. We don't talk about that guy. But thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this. I really appreciate your attention. Your engagement. It's great. And I'll be back in the future with more videos. And who knows? Maybe another Cheez-It review. Maybe there is ground out there I have not yet covered. I have heard of this mysterious thing. They call it the goldfish. Yeah, anyway.